हेलो गुड इवनिंग, हाय दिस इज श्रेयांशी चतुर्वेदी एंड आज हम इस लाइव सेशन में ये जानने वाले हैं कि इफ़ यू गेट ए क्वेश्चन ऑन यूपीएससी लॉ ऑप्शनल, फिर हम उसे लिखते कैसे हैं, हाउ टू राइट इन वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर. वी विल बी प्रैक्टिसिंग इट लाइव हियर इन दिस सेशन. सो you can connect with me on my Instagram handle, which is law optional by Shreyanshi Trivedi. You can definitely give me a call on this number to about your to make me aware about your queries or challenges that you are facing in your preparation journey. And you can definitely send me an email if you want to get enrolled in our course, or if you want to have a conversation with me regarding your challenges about law optional. So here we are going to practice in this live session that how to approach an answer, how to write an answer if we get a question in law optional. We'll be doing it right here in front of you. So suppose this is a question from your 2022 question paper from law optional. This question was in 2022 related to the topic right to private defense, which is an evergreen topic. Every year, or it is a rotational topic, every second year there is a question on right to privacy, right to private defense. Right to private defense, the question was, the right to private defense is based on the cardinal principle that it is the primary duty of a man to help himself, but the right is not absolute. If you get this question like this, how you should approach it? If you question like this, how many subparts it has? Firstly, your mind should be clear that it is not about just one part of the question. It has three major topics or subparts in it. Firstly, right to private defense, about the right itself. Second, it is based on cardinal principle. Just explain the legal base, where it is given, how it has come into force, how it has been, where it is given. And thirdly, whether this right to private defense has any limitations as well. So if you get a question like this, your mind should be trained enough to understand that if I got a question like this, it has three subparts. It is asking me to answer three parts. Firstly, what is right to private defense? Second, what is the legal basis of private defense? And thirdly, what are the limitations that it has, whether it has the power of excessive harm, or it has certain, what is the extent of it. So if you get a question like this, if you practice questions like this from previous year in law optional, you can definitely write answer on any given topic. We will practice it here in front of you. So you understand the question, right to private defense based on which legal principle, and what are the limitations that it has. So if you need to answer question like this, you will create a substructure in your mind like this. Then what is the question? Firstly, as I mentioned, you have to write what is the question. The question was about right to private defense. So I need, in one line or two, I need to write in the introduction part what is right to private defense. It is a self-help principle. So why needed? Because I will write, since the question is that right to private defense is a cardinal principle, but is based on the cardinal principle, and it's about the limitation, I will write every subpart of right to private defense. Firstly, what is it about? Why it is needed? What are the case law that has been given by the Supreme Court or High Court, and does it has any limitation, and what is the extent of it? So you divide your question into subpart and then only you answer. Sometimes students commit that mistake that they read this question like just as only one subpart. They go on to demonstrate only one subpart of it, that it is a right to private defense given in this section. It is given from, let's say, 96 to 100, and it has certain limitations, and done. Or the student has answered only one part of it, or one has mentioned only one case law. Is it sufficient to give you marks? No. If you get a question like this, you have to write Why? What is right to private defense? One line. Why it is needed? What are the legal base of it? That why this and where it is given in your Indian Penal Code or now BNS, where it is given. You have to mention that, the section, the legal base of it, and what kind of case laws has been so far being landmarked related to that particular question. So you will mention the landmark judgments. For instance, State versus UP versus Ram Swaroop, it is definitely pertinent to mention this case law in every question related to right to private defense. Because in this case, it was said that excessive harm should not be done. Defense, excessive harm नहीं करना है आपको. तो राइट टू प्राइवेट डिफेंस से रिलेटेड अगर आप कोई क्वेश्चन लिख रहे हो तो आपको इस केस लॉ को जरूर मेंशन करना है. सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू सब कैटेगराइज योर आंसर. देन ओनली यू कैन स्कोर गुड मार्क्स. And now, since the question in itself has asked about the limitation, you have to write that sections also, where it is given, where it is written, that what are the limitations of right to private defense. Okay, I have been given right to private defense to protect myself and my property, but what are the limitations? Whether I have the power to access it? No, it is not given, so I have to mention those sections wherein it is written that it has given the exception to it. And what is the extent? You have to mention the extent as well, that where it is also you need not to cross the limit. So this is how you are going to write an answer. And lastly, you will definitely in your conclusion write that since that right to private defense is defensive in nature, not retaliatory, you should not use the right to private defense as a mean to punish anybody. So this is how you subcategorize your question and you answer accordingly. If you go on to write an answer only in a particular format, in only one part of it is explained. For instance, most of the students commit this mistake that if I get a question on right to private defense, I will write the section, I will write one or two case law, whether it is according to my question's requirement or not, I'll just write it and I'm done with it. No. Remember, the person who is checking your answer is a professor of a college. He has remembered all the case laws. उनको उतने पता होते हैं. He knew the landmark judgment. So if you forgot to mention the relevant case law according to that particular question, you will lose marks. And if you mention question in this format, you definitely get good marks. आपको plus 0.5 will be added in which every sub part. So this is how you approach an answer in law optional. You have to mention the relevant case law, you have to subcategorize the question and then answer. We will also in this particular session, we will also examine a question of a student right in front of you. Here is an question. This is written by a student जिन्होंने previous question पे आंसर लिखा हुआ है. The question is about the appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court with particularly with regards to criminal matter. The question is, so the question is related to the appellate jurisdiction. The question is related to the appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court, which is a very favorite evergreen topic of jurisdiction, is a favorite evergreen topic of law optional. Every year question is there. So the student was required to write about the appellate jurisdiction pertaining specially related to criminal matter. Criminal matter से related उसको appellate jurisdiction के बारे में लिखना था. Let's see how he has done. So it's good to start with explaining what is appellate jurisdiction, but the student could have also mentioned the article 132 to 136, wherein it is given in the Constitution. This is how you write an answer. You have, if you have to mention the article relevant to it, since you are writing an answer of law optional. So try, if you remember the article, write. So the question is about appellate jurisdiction, then definitely mention the article 132 to 136, wherein the appellate jurisdiction is given in Constitution. So a question like this should be approached in a manner, firstly you have to write the constitutional basis, Then you will write the statutory articles which is given, and if there is a statutory establishment or backing to it, is it given in any other law related to that, in any other law, for instance in BNSS or CRPC, or then you will write the relevant case law, and then you conclude the answer. So let us check that whether the student has done it in that way or not. So firstly, introduction is okay, wherein the student has mentioned the what is appeal in jurisdiction, but he has forgotten to mention the relevant article. You have to mention it while you are writing an answer of law optional. And he has rightly mentioned article 134, 134 1b, 134 1c. So he has given the relevant article related to criminal matter, which is a good mentioning, but the question is not structured in a proper manner. The introduction is lacking at some place. You could have added something else like this, and the student has rightly mentioned that about the article, which article is given on related to by the constitution, but it is not in a very structured manner. Only mentioning of article is not sufficient, and additionally the student has also not mentioned the statutory backing. He has forgotten to mention the relevant section of CRPC, relevant section which is now BNSS. So you have to add the statutory backing as well, that what the law is also saying about it, what your procedure law says about it. So you have forgotten to, the student has forgotten to mention about the article of CRPC and BNSS relating to the appeal in criminal matters. So this here you lose the marks. Thereafter, the student had also not properly mentioned SLP. He has just given a reference to it, but remember SLP is an essential element while it comes to the appeal in criminal matter. So you have to write it in a proper manner, which is only the reference is given. You have to write a systematic 2 lines on SLP in a proper manner. It's good that student has already mentioned about the case law, which is KM Nanavati, which is relevant according to the question, yet he has not given it in a proper manner. You have to give the fact in 1 line, and then you have to write what was held. This is how you write an answer, because you have to make the examiner understand that I know what was happened in this case and this is what was held. So only just mentioning what was held is okay, but to gain more point, just write in 1 sentence what was the fact that happened, what led to this judgment. The student has also forgotten to mention about the Bachchan Singh judgment, which is a very important judgment of 1980 related to the rarest of rare doctrine related to death penalty. So here this landmark judgment is missing, which could have given the student brownie points. And when it comes to the conclusion part, see, appeal in short, this conclusion is very generalized in nature. It could have been written in a more comprehensive manner to establish a link between the appeal in jurisdiction and the fair trial or justice for that matter. Fair trial and justice for that matter, that you can have write it in this way, that since one criminal appeal is limited, you could have written this way. You can write that criminal appeal is appeal in jurisdiction in criminal matters is limited, yet to ensure SLP is a very good mechanism to ensure the justice and the fair trial. So this is how you have to write an answer. You have to balance it, the question, the requirement of, you should justify your question. The question, whichever the question is given to you, you have to justify it in the conclusion itself. At the last, you should justify that this question is related to this, and I have balanced it. So this is how you have to write. So this is how we have understand how you need to approach an answer, how you need to approach a question. You will definitely understand it after practicing. Only after practicing enough number of questions, you can gain confidence. You can understand how I'm going to approach it, how it is need to be approached. This is a mark sheet of rank, All India rank 9, Soumya Sharma ma'am. Ma'am has law optional and she has scored 287 marks with this optional. So, she has gained such a good rank, which is 9. She has scored 143 in paper 1. She has scored paper 2, 144 in paper 2. So, it has been done only by practicing enough question. It's just a myth that law optional does not gives you proper rank. This is a demonstration that law optional even has the potential. Rank 9 is 1-digit rank. You can get it too after practicing in the right direction. If you practice both the papers in a right direction, sufficiently practiced enough, then you can definitely get these scores like this, and this can also be increased. We have curated this another mark sheet for you of 2019 topper Jaydev CS. Sir also has the law optional in which he scored 136 in paper 1 and 139 in paper 2. This is law optional marks. 136, 139 and with such a good rank in 2019. Rank 5. The objective of demonstrating this mark sheet is just to make you understand that if you practice enough, if you understand the syllabus and structured your answer properly with the relevant case law or the recent case laws, then you can definitely score such a good rank. All India rank, AIR, 1, 2, 3, 5, like this. If we talk about the another mark sheet that we have, it's of Jaitika Singh ma'am. Ma'am also had law as her optional subject. Look at the score she has gained in paper 1, 164, 122 in paper 2. So, these two, ma'am has ranked, she has also scored a very good marks in her optional subject. So, this can be achieved very easily if you understand your syllabus, if you practice your questions enough, if each topic is covered by you very religiously, if you consistently practice questions, if you consistently write an answer daily, on daily basis, then only you can definitely get a hold on your syllabus, on your optional subject. You know how to write an answer on you will have this confidence in you that I can write any answer on any given question. If any question comes from my syllabus, I have practiced it enough. This can be only done if you practice them enough. And that is why we have come up with this 90 days program for you. Because we will make sure that you write an answer every day. That you have to write an answer every day on given topic from your syllabus. And in this 3 months, you are prepared with your optional subject. You have definitely touched every topic you have written an answer on every topic given in your syllabus. That is the only thing that we want for you. So that it is our journey, as I said earlier also. So that you are prepared for your mains. You don't need not to be worried at the last moment that I am not ready with my answers. I don't know how to write an answer in my optional subject. So that is why we have come up with this idea. For you, the only purpose we had to demonstrate this mark sheet we have come with this is just to tell you that this is possible. Getting All India ranks, AIR, becoming AIR, 1, 2, 3, 5 is very much possible if you practice enough. If you understand how to practice. So, now let's talk about if you want to enroll, how would you get enrolled yourself? You can definitely call on the given number and follow me on my Instagram handle. Before that, I would like to mention that enrollment fees is we have kept this enrollment fee very less for you, which is just 3,999, which is just 3,999 for your 90 days, in which we will be covering your every topic of paper 1 and paper 2. How we are going to cover? I will be sending you I'll be attaching this another video of mine wherein I have systematically told how we are going to approach in these 90 days, how we are going to write answer, how we are going to cover this entire syllabus. So I'll attach that link also in my given video. In the next video, we'll be discussing about that. So in just 90 days, you are going to be main prepare. You are done with the optional. So this is how you are going to cover it. And for this, you can call on this number. You need to, for the enrollment purpose, you can call on this number. You can definitely come to my Instagram handle, follow me here, and let me know about your queries as well. You can drop me an email on my given email ID, and please try focus completely on your optional subjects, because optional subjects has the potential to make it or break it. Thank you.